Hi, year five. So today you are going to write and write and write and write. Hopefully, your plan is really detailed. Your character plan as well is really detailed. And so, not going to be having to think loads and loads. In fact, I would say write and write and write and write and write. And then you can go back. We're going to have an editing day where you can check all of your spelling, you can improve your sentences, and so on, and then add things in to make it even better. Today, just really, really try and just knuckle down and write until your hand aches. I've written my first paragraph already, and I have some ideas for my second paragraph. So I'm going to talk through that to help you think about how you're going to get started. Um, you have your plan. So I've got my plan that I wrote with you yesterday. I've added a bit more to it for my second paragraph so that I can write that with you. And that makes it much, much easier to write. So if you haven't done that fully, or you feel like you could add more to it, you've had some more ideas overnight, add to it now before you start writing. Okay, so I've written rolling over. Alex stretched out his, I've started with a fronted adverbial, saying where, doesn't know how, sorry. Rolling over, Alex stretched out his hand to turn off his screeching alarm clock. It felt so early. Although he had been working hard on his schoolwork, another fronted adverbial. I might want to edit this, swap it around another day, but not today. Working hard on his schoolwork. Although he'd been working hard on his schoolwork, getting up for actual school was a mountain to climb. I used a metaphor. Nevertheless, and a good conjunction. Nevertheless, after a giant yawn, he peeled his sticky eyes open and smiled. Smiled, we might ask as a reader. Yes. Yes, he was tired, but today he was finally going to be seeing his friends again. He couldn't wait to tell them all about the ideas he had had. Now, here, what I've done is I've thought about the character profile I did for Alex and how he likes to share things. In fact, he hasn't seen his friends for ages and he misses them. And I've put that into my first paragraph because that's how he feels when he wakes up. He's the kind of person that really wants to see his friends. So although he's tired, he wants to get there and see them. Jumping out of bed, he knocked his favourite book, Tom's Midnight Garden, onto the floor. He picked it up and brushed it off because remember, it's his favourite book. Carefully placing it back onto the table. He loved that book because it was all about going back in time. So notice how I've slipped that in there, that book falling on the floor, so that I could tell you that he likes to go back and he likes to think about stories going back in time, because that plants a seed in my reader's head and links nicely then to the rest of the story. So you've got some cohesion. So I'm now on my second paragraph. So I leave a space, which I think, yes, it's left a space, good. If not, you can do an indent like that, and that's what they do in books for the second paragraph. So I'm going to use another fronted adverbial. So I might think I need to swap these adverbs around a bit, but I'm not going to worry about that today. I just want to write and write and write, and we'll worry about editing later. Almost as soon as he stepped out of his house, he saw his friend. Let's have Khaled. Now, I'm going to go back to my plan. Sees best friend. Okay. Can't fist bump, so he's sad, but he waves and chats. I don't know if I'm going to have him as sad. There might be too many different emotions to try and write in a sentence. So I might just say, that he's animated, he's sharing. It's his character, isn't it? That he's all like excited to share everything that he's been doing and what he's been learning and about the world. Maybe not his schoolwork. And then they're walking to school. Something's eerie. There's no cars. Why is Kevin wearing those strange, smart clothes and a flat cap? There's a dog growling. Oh, maybe snarling would be a good word. I might make a note of that now. School seems small. A different type of buildings. They used to use more sort of red brick buildings in Victorian schools. They were smaller as well. Have they rebuilt the whole school, he says? You know, you wouldn't straight away think, oh, we've gone back in time. He'd think, oh, they've rebuilt the school. It's different. Oh, no one's driving today. I wonder why. I hope school is on. That sort of thing. So there's my writing. Okay, so I'm going to think about all of those things. So he's excited to see him. Does he run over to him? Yeah. Thrilled. He waved and ran over to him, animatedly blurting out everything. Blurting out everything he had been desperate to share for the last, how long's it been? 2 months. Last Christmas. Let's call it 3 months. So really thinking about his character a lot here, aren't I? The way he behaved, this Alex. He's very, very excitable and so desperate to share with his friends. However, Khaled didn't seem to be listening. He seemed preoccupied as they walked towards the school. And Alex started to realise why. Just going to move me out the way. The road seemed eerily, that was in my plan, wasn't it? Eerily quiet. I'm going to change it to silent. I don't have to stick to my plan exactly. The road seemed eerily silent. Maybe that could be just a short sentence. The tension. Where were the cars? He jumped. So we're starting to build a bit of tension. The road seemed eerily silent. Quite a short sentence. Where were the cars? Another short sentence that creates a bit of tension. And then he jumped. Really short sentence. And then I'm going to explain why. A growling, snarling dog. Should I describe the dog a bit more? Black. Huge black dog had lunged towards him. Only stopping, I'm not sure that's the word I want, only prevented from attacking Alex by the chain that was attached to its neck. I feel like there's some editing I could be doing, but I'm just going to keep writing and I'll go back and edit it, as I said, another time. Just keep writing so I can write loads and loads and loads. Looking at my notes again. I suppose Kevin's always outside the school, but this is a different Kevin, and that was definitely in my plan. I'm going to say, and he's just nearly been attacked by the dog, so he wants to go and tell Kevin about it. So Kevin can do something to make him safe. He's meant to be keeping the school safe. He rushed straight over to Kevin to tell him about the dog. However, something stopped him. I've already said something about stopped. And I was going to, and then I didn't. However, something stopped him. Kevin looked odd somehow. We got again. This is our build-up paragraph, remember. So there's just lots of strange things happening. We're not quite sure why. The next paragraph after this will be where we find out why. So we find out what our problem really is, that we've gone back in time. At the moment, just lots and lots of clues being planted in the reader's head about things not being quite right. Okay, and so then I would carry on. Haven't quite finished this paragraph. I'll describe why Kevin looks odd, and then maybe something like a hand grabbed his shoulder. Maybe that's where we meet that nasty teacher with his beady eyes that says, "What do you think you're wearing?" Because he's not wearing the sort of uniform that they would have worn in the old days. So he's already in trouble before he's entered the school, maybe. And then that would lead me nicely on to my next paragraph, where we start to get a bit more information. Okay, so have fun with your story. I'm really excited to see where you take yours. But just before you do, I just want to correct my spelling of its. I know it belongs to it, but I wrote it is. We don't need an apostrophe.